What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Nothing But Sports Talk, the channel where we do talk nothing but sports. I'm with my co-host Mario today.
What's
Today's
up?
day one NBA free agency. Not a very dramatic day. Usually they're usually a little bit more crazy, but we do have some big contracts to talk about, some smaller contracts to talk about, some steals to talk about. So without a doubt, run that intro and we're gonna get straight into it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now we're going to hop into some of our biggest contracts of the day. I believe we have three contracts to talk about, three max and super max contracts. I'm going to shoot it over to my boy Mario, and he's going to give you guys the details.
Yeah, for sure. So the first contract we're going to talk about is going to be the biggest and richest in NBA history, starting with Nikola Jokic for 5 years, $264 million.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. They locked him up for a long time, and not only for a long time, for a large amount of money. He deserves it. Back-to-back MVPs. Why wouldn't you want to offer him? He's still young. What is he, 26, 25? Around there, 27?
Yeah.
Around that age range. Dude, he's still very young. And, dude, the Denver squad is coming. Next up, it is going to be Bradley Beal. Another 5-year contract for $251 million. These guys definitely secured a bag. That's 50 a year. We don't know what Bradley Beal's future with Washington is looking like. They've made a few moves. We're not going to sleep on Washington. They're definitely, I feel like they're going to contend this upcoming season. Probably not.
I don't know about contend, but I think they'll make the playoffs.
They'll make, yeah, that's what I meant. Probably be in the playoff picture. I wouldn't say that they'll probably be a first round exit. I think he's definitely going to still need more help than just Kristaps Porzingis and all the additions they've had so far today. And after that, we're going to follow with D-Book. He's going to sign a 4-year, $214 million contract. Dude, these guys are just securing the bag. Yeah. And they're all pretty young players, except for Bradley Beal. He's like 28, I believe, 29. But D-Book and Jokic, they're locked up for the next 4 and 5 years. So, dude, those are big bags.
Yeah. These guys are. It's crazy to see a guy like Jokic getting that much money, and it's for all the right reasons. Like Mario said, back-to-back MVPs, he more than earned the money that he's being earned. But to give him 264? Man,
yeah, I
can't even imagine. Like that's amazing. But no, without a doubt, these guys all three of them earned this money, especially Jokic. Bradley Beal earned it as well, and same with D-Book.
Dude, I would imagine how much LeBron would get if he was like 26 years old, dude. Can you imagine?
He'd be making so much money.
Dude, so much money. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's insane the amount of money these guys are making. But let's move on to some of the mid-tier contracts that we have to talk about. All right, guys, now we're going to hop into some of the mid-tier contracts. Like we were talking about, we got Jalen Brunson, which is crazy to say that this is considered a mid-tier contract, but really nowadays it is. 4 years, $104 million. All right, and then we got Anthony Simons coming in at 4 years, $100 million. Me and Mario were talking. I think this is kind of a reach for a guy like Anthony Simons, who only did it for 1 year. He also did it without Dame or any stars on the court, so it's kind of like I'd much prefer, if I'm Portland, to see him do it again with Dame next to him and Jeremy Grant next to him, and then I'll be willing to give you that 4 years, $100 million. But yeah, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, we talked before this. We thought it was pretty much a reach. I would probably have to wait a little bit just for him to see what he does with like Jeremy Grant, Dame Dalla, and maybe Nurkic maybe decides to go back. But dude, the Blazers really didn't have nobody this past season, so I understand why he put up those numbers. I probably, like Christian said, I probably would have waited another year for that to make that decision.
Yeah, definitely. But moving on to Lou Dort, he got, I believe it was 5 years, $87.5 million. I like that one. I don't mind that at all. This dude has come out and gotten better every single year, adjusting his three-point shot, only getting better with that, being a top-tier elite defender in this league. I think honestly that's kind of not I wouldn't say a steal, but that's like a reasonable contract for a guy like Lou Dort.
Yeah, then Christian has expressed a lot how he would love him in Chicago. I would love him in Chicago, but
That's
he
my
said
boy.
the
But
same in Thunder, man. But dude,
yeah,
we love his game. He's gonna be really good. He's gonna keep getting
absolutely,
better.
absolutely. Another Chicago boy, Bobby Portis. He signed
I
a
miss Bobby.
4-year, yeah, it's a 4-year, $49 million contract. Really like this for him. I'm happy that he opted out of that player option and still got to return to Milwaukee because I feel
That
like
was
that's just a
bad.
perfect destination for him. They really embrace him, and I'm proud. I'm happy for him over there. And 4-year, 49 million. That's a bag. And I'm definitely happy
He
for him.
deserves it too, dude.
Oh
We thought
yeah,
he was getting a little bit underpaid, but he deserves it, dude. He's what I would have wanted this offseason for Chicago, but obviously he's staying in Milwaukee. Dude, we loved him when he was in Chicago. Dude, he's a beast. He brings the energy.
no, yeah, for sure. Marvin Bagley. I'm gonna speed run through these last three. Uh, I'll just we've already talked about these on our live stream, so I already know how he feels. So I'm gonna just speed run through these last three real quick. Marvin Bagley, 3 years, 37 million. Yeah, 3 years, 37
Mm-hmm.
million. Overpaid to both of us. He's just he
It,
hasn't done
he
anything
stayed the
to prove
same.
that. Yeah,
He has
he
stayed the
hasn't.
same from start to now.
I literally haven't seen any improvements in his game. Chris Boucher, a 3-year, 35 million. I think he's definitely earned that contract.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
kind of a steal for a guy like him. PJ Tucker, 3-year, 33 million. I feel like he's a little bit old to be getting a 3-year contract. I like the amount of
33,
money,
right?
only $11 million to get a guy like PJ Tucker. I think that's a solid contract, but I feel like if they could have did it for 2 years, 22 million, then I'd be more like, all right, that's awesome. That's an awesome addition to the 76ers. But for 3 years, I mean, I can see by year 3 that being kind of a dookie contract.
Yeah, he's old, dude. He's getting old. I understand why they offered that contract, but dude, that I would have, like you said, I would have done 2 years, 22.
Yeah.
It really would have been the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. 2 years, 22 is what I would have done. All right, let's hop into some of our lower tier contracts, some minor stuff that happened throughout the league today. All right, guys, now we got the lower tier contracts to hop in. So what we're going to do for this, I'm sharing my screen. We're on spotrack.com, just following all the free agents who've signed, and you get to see their contracts as well. So I'm just going to go down the list, and we're not going to touch too much on each and every single one of them, but on specific ones that we do find intriguing, the bigger names, then we're going to hop in to those and dive in a little more. So we got Tyus Jones going back to Memphis on a 2-year, $30 million contract. I like that for Memphis. Jayshawn Tate going back to Houston for a 3-year, $22 million contract. That's kind of a steal for a younger guy in Jayshawn Tate. Nicholas Batum going back to LA for 2 years, $22 million. I thought that was a bit of an overpay for a guy like Nick Batum. I think they could have went out and got a little bit more, especially when they already have Norman Powell and Robert Covington. I feel like they didn't really need to do that. Mo Bamba, yeah. Mo Bamba going back to Orlando for 2 years, $21 million. Should have been in the Bulls uniform. We'll stop right here and talk a little bit about this. I think that's
tough pill to swallow.
It's a tough pill to swallow. I definitely wish the Bulls would have hopped on that. I mean, we did just sign Andre Drummond though. Yeah. So can't be too mad. But honestly, for Orlando, I mean, I guess I understand it, but at the same time, you already have Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. Now you're going to add Mo Bamba back to the list. I would have enjoyed seeing him get an opportunity elsewhere, like the Rockets or some other team playing next to Jabari Smith, or even the Pelicans playing next to Zion Williamson. I think that would have been cool for him, a good opportunity. I really don't like Orlando's developmental staff. I really don't have a lot of trust in, so I really wish he would have went somewhere else. So yeah. All right, so next up we have JaVale McGee, 34 years old, signing over to Dallas for a 3-year contract worth $20 million. I'm happy he got paid. I feel like JaVale's been undervalued a lot in his career, so I'm happy he got
Shaq the full legend right there.
Shaq the full legend, but he's a solid player.
Dude, he's a solid player. Like, look what he did in Golden State. Look what he did in Phoenix.
Yeah.
He brings energy off the bench.
He does.
Finally got paid.
Finally, yeah. I'm definitely happy for him. Nicholas Claxton staying in Brooklyn on a 2-year, $20 million deal. I guess. I mean, their whole team's gonna be gutted, so I don't really know what the idea is. Malik Monk going over
Oh my
to the
God.
Sacramento Kings, 2 years, $19 million. I thought this was a steal. What is that?
So we
8 million.
love that move.
Man, that's or what is that? $9.5 million a year?
8 million.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. No. What the? Yeah, it's gonna be 9.5 ish. Yeah.
9.5, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I really
Dude, it literally says right there.
thanks. Trying to do the
Dude,
math
oh
and
my
shit, but
God.
it is right there.
Reunited with De'Aaron Fox. That's gonna be
That's awesome.
nasty
I
back
mean,
there,
at
dude. And that
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
you guys remember how they were in Kentucky, and I think they know how to play well with each other. So I think
Yeah, that
that's going to be a
chemistry. Yeah.
good benefit. Yeah,
Picking
I
up
mean,
right where they left
and
off.
that goes a long way. People underrate that aspect of the game. Kyle Anderson going over to Minnesota. He's going over to the Ops. I saw they're
Dude, I
tweeting
know.
about it. Memphis fans were pissed. Kyle Anderson going over to Minnesota on an $18 million 2-year contract. I like that for Kyle Anderson. He got paid. I think he deserved it. Solid player. Slow-mo getting his bag.
Dude,
DeLon
yeah.
Wright. DeLon Wright going over. So slow. DeLon Wright going over to Washington on a 2-year, $16 million contract. We were talking about Washington earlier. I mean, I think they're building a solid team, not a great team, but I think they're building a solid team around Brad Beal. But I still think he's gone. I think he's gonna request that trade next year. I think.
Secure the bag, he's gone.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Secure that bag first, and then you can get up out of there. Isaiah Hartenstein going on from the Clippers to the New York Knicks, 2 years, $16 million. He was on our radar as well for the Bulls. We are Bulls fans over here, so we've been talking about him all day. I like that for him. $8 million is solid. I mean, I was expecting to see him go for about $5 to $6 million, so him get $8 million a year. Good for him. Definitely happy for him. But now that leaves me to question, where's Mitchell Robinson going to go? Because you can't sign Isaiah Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson. Who else do they have? Didn't they draft the? Oh no, they didn't draft anybody. Okay, I mean, yeah, maybe they do go out and
everybody got traded.
Maybe they do re-sign Mitchell Robinson, but I don't know. That makes it a lot interesting to see Hartenstein going over to the Knicks. Now we got Thaddeus Young going back to Toronto on a 2-year, $16 million deal. I mean, much earned. He had his worst year of his career last year. I mean, lowest minutes wise, that's for sure. But he still is. He's the same player he was 2 years ago with the Bulls. He just hasn't really been given the opportunity. So I'm definitely excited to see him get that much money. I thought he was going to get paid a little less, to be honest. Moving on to Patty Mills, going back to Brooklyn on a 2-year, $14.5 million contract. Me and Mario were talking about that. Does not make sense.
Doesn't make any sense, dude. That ship in Brooklyn's definitely sinking right now. I don't know why he would want to go back.
I don't understand that. Maybe he plans
on. If I was him, I'd try to back out of there right now, dude. Fuck that.
And he's only verbally committed, so technically he still can. But
yeah,
I don't
he really
know.
can.
That was a little.
Why would he want to say no Kyrie? No, I mean you're gonna ban, but that's it.
Yeah. So now we have Amir Coffey on a 3-year, $11 million contract. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is. Do you?
Dude, I don't know who that is.
I have no clue, but shout out to him. He got the bag.
A lot more than we are. Fuck.
Oh yeah, way more. So shout out to him. Victor Oladipo, wow, 30 years old. That's weird to see that number next to Victor Oladipo's name.
Dude, I know,
going back to Miami on a 1-year, $11 million contract. I like it. It's a prove it year.
Understandable, yeah.
He had a really good playoff series against Boston. Was it that? Yeah, it was that series, Boston. He looked really, really good. He looked like a little bit showing flashes of that
more
old
comfortable.
Oladipo. Definitely. So now we have Dwayne Dedmon coming in on a 2-year, $9 million contract. Just going over back to Miami. Seems like they're bringing a lot of the old guys back.
Yeah.
Trying to run it back. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
They are one game away, really one shot away. So I don't mind that at all.
Dude, I know, dude. Hasn't Jimmy at that too?
Yeah, I mean he carried them on their back both times. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna blame him. Daniel House going over to Philly on a 2-year. Is that $8 million? $8 million contract. I like that a lot. I mean, PJ Tucker and Daniel House for Philly. That's going to be two shorter guys, but two feisty 3-and-D wings. So I like that a lot for Philly. Lonnie Walker going over to LA on a 1-year, $6.5 million deal. I think that's a steal. I don't know how you feel about
making
it.
Making a lot of young moves. I think that's a steal too.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was on the free agent.
Yeah. He just got not waived, but they relieved the rights to him literally like right before free agency started. So, no, definitely, I really like that one. And a lot of people were hating on the Lakers all day today because they were getting like lower tier players. But what do you expect them to do? Go and get KD?
I mean, with
right
what
now?
they did, for what they have, they definitely need. Or they definitely signed some role players at least.
Yeah, and I mean, I really like it. I think they did a good job with this one. Lonnie Walker to the Lakers. I like that signing a lot.
Yeah, people don't understand that the Lakers really got nothing to work with, to be honest, with all those contracts they have. So
they don't at all. So
like
then we have Joe Ingles going over to Milwaukee. Didn't even know he was in Portland, low key.
Dude, man, he got traded. I remember he got traded.
I remember that.
He got traded while he tore the ACL. I think he got traded a little bit after.
Yeah, but we have him going over to Milwaukee for $6.5 million. I love that. Milwaukee. He literally describes Milwaukee. That guy literally describes Milwaukee top to bottom. Kind of gives me Mike Dunleavy vibes. For them, that I love. They need guys.
Love it and hate it, dude.
Yeah.
As a Bulls fan, I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Kevin Knox going over to Detroit on a 2-year, $6 million contract. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he would be in the G League by now.
I didn't even know he was in that lineup.
I didn't know that either. So good for him for getting that contract. I mean, shout out to him. Hopefully he makes the most of it and proves us all wrong. He's still only almost 23 years old. That's insane. These guys are so young, man. These guys are so young. Damian Jones, another Lakers signing that I really like, on 2 years, almost $5 million. That's super cheap for a guy like Damian Jones, who's not anything crazy. I'm not going to tell you he's going to come in and be an all-star for the Lakers, but to come off that bench and be just like a solid big, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad about it. It's $2 million a year. You guys will be okay. Lakers fans, calm down.
Yeah, for real.
Devon Reed, like literally, Devon Reed, going back to Denver on a 2-year, $4 million contract. Shout out to him, securing that bag for 2 years. Let's see who else we have on here. Javon Carter going back to Milwaukee on a 2-year, $4 million. That's honestly a really good contract for him. I think he could have gotten more on the open market.
Yeah.
Javon Carter, he's a solid backup point guard.
Milwaukee's just trying to run it back, dude.
Oh yeah, and I think the players they're all in. They're all about it because they know that if they're one healthy Middleton away from going back to the championship. Then we have Anthony Gill, restricted free agent, going back to Washington. 2 years, $3 million. I don't know who that is. Do you? I think some of these guys towards the end. I don't know.
No. I don't know who Trevelyan Queen is either.
I don't know him or Trevelyan Queen, but we got DeAndre Jordan going over to Denver on a 1-year, $3 million deal. That's cool. And DeAndre
Jordan, he's ever since Los Angeles, he's bouncing around a lot.
Yeah, he's just not very good anymore. Wesley Matthews going to Milwaukee once again, running it back on a 1-year, $3 million deal. That's a steal. That's a veteran minimum for a guy like Wes Matthews, who really balled out in the playoffs. He was guarding anybody.
Motherfucker was just in the corner.
He was just splashing threes, and he was guarding a lot of times the opposing team's best players.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Troy Brown Jr. going to LA on a 1-year, $2 million deal. I mean, look, Lakers fans, as coming from a Bulls fan, he's not very good, but coming in at, what is he, 24 now? He's 20. He's still only 23 years old. There's still some untapped potential in that. You can try and get the most out of him, but we couldn't for him. But maybe you guys can. So good luck. Juan Toscano Anderson also going to the Lakers. Honestly, I really like that one a lot. Championship experience, coming in and coming from the Warriors. I think he's gonna have a lot more opportunity to shine in LA. And then Andre Drummond, last but not least, he just got signed by the Chicago Bulls literally like 30 minutes ago. So it doesn't even have the contract on there. I'm hoping it's for a veteran minimum, which I would honestly love.
Yeah, I think that's what we're all hoping for.
If it's a veteran minimum, I mean, that's a steal. But I hope it's not like for like $8 million or something, then I'd be mad. But if it's for a veteran minimum, I love that signing. So that's all of them. I mean, guys, we just ran through that.
Dude, look at that balance at the end. 1 billion, 19, like 1 billion
in one day.
1 billion.
That's in one day, guys.
Dude, that's a day. That's
insane.
just insane, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money tossed around. Mainly those max contracts.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But without a doubt, guys, this has been Nothing But Sports Talk, a channel where we do only talk nothing but sports. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys tune into the live stream, we also appreciate that as well. We hopped on live at 5 o'clock, just going through all the new reports coming out for the free agency wind down. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Hope you guys leave a comment what you guys think was your favorite signing of the first day of free agency. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, as it only does help the channel. Once again, this is Nothing But Sports Talk. I'm with my co-host Mario. This is the channel where we do only talk nothing but sports.
Nothing but
We're about to get
sports.
up out of here.
Peace out.